This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with that prize guy. I am here at Anderson Boxing. Today we're joined once again, Cathal Jennings. How are you?
I'm all good, bro. How are you, Morty?
I am fantastic. I obviously seen you at the devenish obviously the week for Jay Burns' show, but unfortunately I was busy tonight, didn't really sort of get round to say hello, but I guess life's changed for you now. Obviously you've had your debut, you've sort of done that first camp, you've had your first one. Does things feel different to you now? You're training now for your second pro fight?
Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels good just to get the ball rolling, you know what I mean? We've got a few camps there now. Obviously that one got cancelled, but I think it's all standing by me, you know what I mean? Just staying in camp. I feel like I'm evolving as a fighter there every camp, you know what I mean? That's what being a pro fighter is all about, improving every fight, you know. I kind of know what I need to be at now after that first one. I got a feel for the fight, for the pro game in that one, so I kind of know what way. I know how to move forward now, you know what I mean, know what way to be.
It's, you know, I guess everybody knows in the night, like, you know, you were very controlled, you were very disciplined. You had another meaning behind going to the devenish that night because obviously your next opponent was obviously fighting John Boyd as the main event in the card. Like, was that for you sort of just to get a gauge? Because I guess you wouldn't have probably seen much footage of Conor meanwhile. Prior to that, so was that the scouting mission for you tonight?
Yeah, it was a bit of a scouting mission now, Morty. Like I just wanted to see what he was about. Obviously, those are boys on the show I wanted to see as well. Like there's a couple of cracking fights on it. Like Callum Bradley, Barry had a good scrap. Like it was good fights on it. But yeah, I wanted to stay to see what he was about. Like I seen a few videos of him. There was a boy I sparred in Spain fought him twice actually. So I kind of seen what he was like. Obviously, me and John's completely different styles, like, you know what I mean? John's 6 foot, fucking...
6 foot 50.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly, and your man's more my height. But look, give me a wee bit of a gauge of what to expect, you know? He looks like a tough enough feile operator, like, he comes forward. But, you know, I think he's tailor-made for me, to be honest with you. I think he'll just walk right into me.
That's what you want, isn't it? Like, you want to... You know, when you're on that development stage, you don't want to have fighters that are negative and sort of they're just there to sort of survive. You want fighters that Conor meanwhile that know how to operate the ring, know how to sort of phase themselves into attacks and come and have a fight with you because, you know, it's a long, boring old camp when you're having better sparring in camp than yes to having a fight.
Yeah, that's it too. Like, plus it's more openings when people be throwing shots at you, like, you know what I mean? And he comes in tight guard, you know what I mean? He's not going to be hard to find either, like, so I expect it to be a good, entertaining fight because the last one I felt like I was boxing. I felt like I boxed well. You know, I'm my worst critic, but I feel like I could just get in there. I want to get in here and do a bit of damage this one, like, you know what I mean, and stay in the pocket a wee bit more. You know, last time out I was really trying to box, you know. I had an old semi-pro fight and after having a year or two out and it was a load of shite, you know what I mean? I was jumping all over the place. Whereas that one, I wanted to go in there and I wanted to be precise. I wanted to win clearly. I wanted to show that I had my boxing skills. But this one, I feel like, you know what I mean? I want to implement a lot more inside fighting. Like I want to get back. I'm trying to get that proper style of boxing and fighting. You know what I mean? Obviously not sitting in there being stupid, but like I feel like I can get in there and this boy is a perfect opponent for me to showcase my skills. You know what I mean?
I guess you sort of, you know, sometimes you want to run before you can walk, sort of, you know, like this is what your sort of development stage is like. So it's sort of testing different fighters in different ways. One's that's going to stay back, one's going to come forward, orthodox, southpaw. You want to mix these up, but at the same time, I guess the pressure is sort of in some ways where you see other fighters sort of starting off, you know, Callum Bradley had a fantastic performance.
Great fight,
John Boyd fought very well. Then in the same card as you had obviously Barry with a stoppage, you had Bernardo with a stoppage. Like, do you feel that pressure, like you nearly have to either look flawless in a fight? Not saying you didn't look flawless in your debut, but you nearly have to look flawless or stop someone to get people talking.
Yeah, you do, isn't that? That's the whole point of getting in there. Like, you're not going in there. Like, obviously, there's different fighters. They're gonna give you different problems. Like, there's some of them journeymen, you know, they're messy fighters. They're very unorthodox. Like, so you don't really know what you're getting into till you're in there. But like, you're trying to go in there every time and put on a statement. You know, you want to either box the ears in, but like, I feel like if you're boxing the head of someone, you should be trying to turn the screw and get them out of there. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you have to make sure that you're not. Like, if you're boxing the head of someone in the third round, you don't want to leave it all in the ring then, and then you're bait in the fourth, fifth or sixth round. Like, but I mean, if you're starting to break them down, then start turning the screw and start trying to take them out of there, because that's what people's are. That's why people don't want to sit there and watch tippy-tappy boxing. No, they pay good money to go down there. Like, do you know what I mean? Everything costs a lot nowadays. Tickets cost a lot. Is like they're not like, you know what I mean? You know yourself. People pays their hard-earned money to come down and they want to see blood and thunder. Like, so, you know what I mean? That's how I want to give them.
Another show, another different promotion. Obviously this time around, obviously conlan sport and Padraig McCrory, obviously Hammer boxing. Was that?
Hammer boxing was, yeah.
Last time.
Yeah.
I get mixed up. Do you know what I get mixed up as?
Yeah.
Because Jay's show,
fight.
Paddy had his own show there. It's obviously Jamie and Paddy, and then Mark and Lobsters the night after.
Yeah.
So I'm getting messed up. Like, I'm
Yeah, there's
sort
a
of
lot. There's a lot of it. Like, and you know what? It's great to see. It's great to see so much activity in the pro scene in Ireland at the minute. Like, you know what I mean? Because the show's flat out. As you said, to be able to put a show on the Friday and then a show on the Saturday, it just shows how well the boxing's going. But yeah, I'm excited for this fight. I feel like I can make a good statement here. Like, I feel like your man's style is going to gel very well with mine.
Is that what you? I don't know. I guess I keep saying and posted new kids on the block. And Padraig McCrory's obviously come out and said as well. Like, this is a chance for people to shine. They sort of become the sort of next star. Like, is that just sinking into all these fighters now to go? I want to be the standout one. I want to get these big shots and big cards.
Yeah, no, I have the bit between my teeth. I felt like the last camp, I know it was my first fight, but see, because there was a break, and then it was a break, and then I had a holiday, and then I was fighting then 6 or 7 weeks later. Like, I didn't really like that. I felt like it was long drawn out. I was training from before Christmas for months and months, you know what I mean? Whereas this one, I have had no breaks, it's just straight to the fight. I just feel like I've got my bit between my teeth, and I feel like when they did say stuff like that, like, there's a lot of decent operators on here, you know what I mean? You've got Theo, Jack, and even the boys who's making their debuts, you know what I mean? Lex and that, you know, it's a good opportunity for someone to step up and make a name for themselves, and delighted to get an opportunity on the card again, you know, and cheers to Paddy, and good, like, cheers to Jamie Conlan as well, because, do you know what I mean? It opens a lot of doors, and if you perform well, they do be promoting a lot of shows. So big shout out to Ian Gawkin, legend, get me on these cards. But as I said, like, you perform well, it can open a lot of doors. So yeah.
How does it feel, obviously, now in the gym that you're not like the sort of new guy? It's sort of in the gym, Lex is coming behind. Like, he's the one now that's sort of waiting to make a debut. Like, instantly for you, is that just, you know, passing on tips? You know, obviously we know Lex is boxing at good standards as an amateur, but like, is that what the role is for you now, that you're not going, you're the new guy, you're making the tea and the coffee?
He's the new guy, you know what I mean? Get him on the tea and the coffee. Go on, Lex. No, but to be fair, Lex has been in with Dan longer than me, you know what I mean? He's been training a long time. Like, we fought in the same Ulster Elites and all together, like, so I've known Lex a good while. I'm actually buzzing for him, to be honest with you. Like, see him getting all his sponsors and the photos and all. Like, I think he's, at the start, he was maybe a wee bit him and Han about it, but like, he seems to be taking it in stride there. Like, and he's a quality operator, Lex, like, and he can bang. So, do you know what I mean? You expect, you know, I want to make sure that I'm the standout performance, like, but I think we're in for 2 good wins here on August 1st. I think both of us will steal the show.
Good competitive nature, obviously, the fact that you can play off each other.
Yeah, that's it. And plus, the gym's booming there. Like, you know, you've got Conor's fighting here the day after. Owen's got a massive fight there, and that's a massive fight. Lex making his debut. Then you've got a good lot of amateurs rocking about there who are quality operators in their own right. You know what I mean? So the gym's booming at the minute, like, and it's great. Like, it's great to feed off one another, you know what I mean? We're all making each other work. Like, you seen there today, we're all goosed after that session, like, but that's what you want. You want good, hard, intense sessions, and you grow around with the people around you. Like, it's good to have different people, different operators at different levels, you know. You can learn off each one of them.
How have you found, obviously, the adaptation now that you're now a professional boxer? How have you found, like, life sort of in general for you, obviously, particularly around Newry? Like, obviously, Conor Wallace is away in Australia, so you're pretty much the only one in Newry sort of there after your fights. Like, are you becoming an instant celebrity?
I don't know about that.
Are you getting any
I don't know about that, lad. I was always a celebrity in Newry, Murray. No.
You were always a celebrity?
Yeah, no.
A
rocket head, that's what it was. But no, look, people do be actually saying it the all the time there. Look, it's a wee bit surreal at times, like, but sure, it is what it is, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm only 1-0. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Like, there's a long way to go. But it's good to feel like I'm flying the flag a wee bit there at the minute, you know, as Wallace is away there, you know what I mean? Big Wally Sands, you know what I mean? So he's in line here to fight for a world title there too, you know. I think that way he's fighting is going to be tailor-made for him, to be honest with you. I watched a wee bit of him, like, so. Yeah, I'll make try and get me on the undercard of that there, so well.
I was sort of doing the 2 and 2, and I was sort of going, Biville's not going to want to fight a manager with ABF for peanuts.
And the rehydration clause as well. They have a £10 rehydration clause on the IBF, so it's usually the belt that gets dropped.
So when I worked it out 2 and 2, I was going, this is working perfect. Biville's going to drop the belt. Conor's in because Conor and Eifert are 1 and 2, so they're then going to fight for it. So like, I'm sort of jumping the gun a wee bit in the fact, but we're hoping it happens. Yeah,
definitely. It'll be massive for Irish boxing, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I think he's tailor-made for Conor. What is he, 5'10"? Wallace is near 6'4". You know what I mean? He ran that big jab. But that's the thing, and it's exciting to see, like, you know what I mean? He's from Newry too, like, so it would be a good opportunity there just to, you know what I mean, put Newry on the map for boxing as well. Like, you know what I mean? Do nothing but good for Irish boxing and our world champion, so yeah, it'd be good to see.
It'd be nice to get him on a homecoming, obviously. I know that there was potentially initially talk of him and Padraig McCrory obviously fighting on the last crockerdonovan card. Like, you know, I'm not sure, obviously, I guess obviously now things depend on what happens with ABF, but like the crockerdonovan card coming up in Windsor Park, and it'd been a good time to bring Conor home, because people are nearly sort of, people's posting now to me and they're sort of going, like, why are you posting about Conor Wallace? He's Australian, because they see it in the rankings. Australian. He's Irish, but because he's boxing commissions in Australia, he's classified as Australian. But they're great to get him home. They started the trend from home here rather than fighting in Australia.
Like, that's what I mean. He's focusing on, from what I was speaking to him, like, he's focusing on trying to get that title first, and then thinking about options and all wherever. Like, see, once you have a world title, you can fight wherever you want. You know what I mean? An Irish homecoming will always be good. Like, there's plenty of fighters over here in the UK and Ireland that he could fight. You know, there's Joe Ward, Paddy, who else? Like, there's all the Boatzis and stuff over in the UK. Like, he'll have the pick of them, like, but they'll all be looking to come, and like, he'll be the one they're looking to get till. So, do you know what I mean? I'd say, and it's about making money as well. Like, you always hear Anthony Cathal talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's about making the right sense. Wallace boxing a long time too. Like, he's boxing from no age, so it's about getting the right fights and the money fights too. Because at the end of the day, boxing's a business too. Like,
is that what you want to hear sometimes? You know, rather than people sort of talking about world titles, is talking about the money fights, because it sort of seems as if the landscape of boxing is changing a bit. Like, you've Turkey Al Sheikh linking in with Dana White, and it looks like their TKO series is going to be no world titles, but giving people opportunities and big money fights. Like, is it becoming a stage?
I don't like that. Like, I'm not really a fan of that. I can understand what they're trying to do, but like, you're never gonna. The legacy of boxing's always gonna be there. Like, you know, you may want to win like one of the belts. You know what I mean? Like, they're the real. You know what I mean? When you retire, like, it's obviously good to say, "Oh, I made X amount of money." Like, no one's gonna ever turn their nose up at you making a load of money. Like, but do you know what I mean? When you're watching boxing from no age, you're playing the fucking fight night and all, like, you know what I mean? It's all about winning the belts.
So dream of becoming a champion.
Exactly. It's dream
of becoming loaded. Yes, loaded would be nice, but it comes as a byproduct.
You want to be champion and loaded, Maury. You know what I mean? You want them both, but like, it's about legacy too. Like, it's about, you want to win stuff that people's gonna remember. Like, you're not gonna put fucking. Well, you could put a load of money up in a big cabinet, like, if you wanted to. Like, but like, it's always good. You always see people with their belts, you know, put out and stuff, and I think that's class, you know what I mean? I would love to be able to one day look up at the wall and have a few belts of my own. So yeah, I can understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to model it like UFC kind of, but like, that's never going to work, because like MMA has so many different organizations. So like you're never going to be able to model boxing like that. It's just not going to be able to work like that. You're going to get obviously people who's going to go to the money, like, because at the end of the day, it is all about, someone says you can fight him or you can fight him, and you're getting 10 grand for him and you're getting 100 grand for that. Like, you know where they're going to go, but
10 grand.
Yeah. Any money, give it.
You're back obviously 4 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Like, tickets, I believe tickets are sort of nearly, I think everybody's nearly got the tickets. It's sort of going to be out. I don't think there's too many left. Like,
No.
how's ticket sales sort of been? Are they increasing from the debut?
Yeah, tickets are always going well. Like the two, well, obviously the one that got cancelled, I had 100. I've sold it near enough 100 for that last one. Like I'm looking to do it around the same. Like they're going out there steadily. Like I've only really started pushing them there. I got them like 2 weeks ago. Only really started pushing them last week. Like, and I've got a good majority of them gone there. Like, so I'm always being shown good support down the road. So it's always good. The Newry ones do get behind you. You know what I mean? Just about getting my name out there a wee bit more. I'm actually on the radio here in Newry on Sunday, a live show, lad. Singing, bro, yeah, singing. The choir boy. No, but yeah, on the Sunday show here on your FM, so well, hopefully you can pick up a couple of fans there, lad, you know what I mean? A couple of people that are looking to come down the road. You know, it's always a good old session down in Belfast there too. The Devenish a good old spot there for an old drink up too, and I know the Newry one's loving out booze there, so why not? And plus the fights is going to be good. There's only 6 on the card too, like, so you'll not be there all night either. Like it'll be fast and furious. Is that what it is?
People could come to the Devenish first of August 17th and then come in and watch the fights.
Yeah, and hopefully the weather's good, because I'm telling you now, like I'm not from down here obviously, but fucking it looks like some crack there. They always be showing up and with them either in camper and fighting down the Devenish, and it's even the sun's booming and it's the tunes and all be blaring out the front of it and all. It looks like some crack.
Definitely does, but I guess, you know, you just have to sort of focus on the fight.
Yeah, no, that's it too, like, you know what I mean? You have to, that's the life you have to live when you're a boxer.
You seem to be sort of taking it all sort of in your stride. You know, you can talk, you can sell tickets, you're sort of looking to branch yourself out and sort of on the radio and things like that. Like, you're doing all the wee things right that sometimes a lot of people forget about, but you understand this business that you have to sort of sell yourself rather than sort of just come and watch me fight. You know, it's like I need to talk about myself rather than just being quiet. I
have to give Owen Murphy a shout out for that one. One of my old boxing coaches, I get on them about trying to get in the newspaper, and he came back to me and I just was looking in the number there to get in the newspaper. I didn't think, he went above and beyond, to be fair to him. He came back to me to the 2 local newspapers, and then he got on to the radio station, all sorted that out for me. So shout out to Owen Murphy. Like, he doesn't have to do that, do you know what I mean? But he lives and breathes boxing. He's Monica's coach down the road, like, and you know what I mean, he lives and breathes it, and very, very grateful. Always very supportive with the tickets and all too, like, so shout out to Owen Murphy and shout out to Monica's, he's legend.
You'd rather be on the radio or you'd rather be on video?
Face for the radio, sorry, Morty.
Would you rather be speaking than obviously in words, sort of in a paper, because people can construe the words in different ways, whereas when they actually hear your voice, you know, whether it's video or whether it's the radio, the real Cathal Jennings comes out. Yeah,
that's it too. Plus, I'm not too sure how many people be buying the newspapers anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff is online now. A lot, like, the old school always buy the newspaper. Like, you know, my ones buy it. Like, but I don't know, even know it. The boy from one of the newspapers said to me, like, he was like, "Well, get it up online too, because there's not too many buying newspapers nowadays. So numbers have obviously dropped, but it's still good to get out there. You know what I mean? For the people that don't be on social media and stuff, like, and do be listening to, like, I would hardly listen to the radio except your FM. No, but I would hardly listen to the radio. Like, I would always have my phone on my own music. Like, so for the people that do be listening to the radio and do be getting newspapers, it's good to get out there and make yourself relevant, because the latter part of my amateur career, I was based in Belfast. I wasn't based in Newry, so when I was fighting in Newry, I was getting a lot more publicity in the newspapers back then. But when I was boxing in Belfast, I wasn't really, do you know what I mean? I wasn't really going out of my way to get put into the newspapers. So it's good to try and get your name out there, because at the end of the day, it's about building your profile and all too. Like, you can only sell tickets if people know you. The people that don't know you aren't going to buy tickets off you. So that's just the name of the game, isn't it?
Potential sponsors maybe as well.
Yeah, that's it too. Now, I've had a few, like, I've had good sponsors on me there. Like, shout out to all my sponsors, obviously, our Kings. Is it alright if I plug them here, Marty? Yeah. Station House, Black Force Joinery jumped on there. GMAC Recovery. Who else is there? I'm always putting the ball with this here. My mind be boggled then.
I'm not taking the blame for this.
Yeah, no, Matthew O'Brien, her, I said PD Forklift, Station House. If I missed anyone, you know, I'll make sure to give them a plug anyways in the later stages. But look, they've stuck by me there, and a couple have jumped on. Obviously, some come and go, but it's about getting a bit of sponsorship too, because it costs a fortune. Like I'd be coming down here 4 and 5 days a week. That's £100 a week, and then you've got your strength and conditioning. I'm not gonna go on and on about it, like, but look, every boxer knows that it's not a cheap game either, especially if you want to perform at the highest level, because you need to be doing what everyone else is doing, like, and more. So it costs a lot of money. So
it's the people that don't box so don't understand that, you know, there's £100 in fuel. You then, you know, the crazy thing is that the healthier you are, the more your food costs. You know, you then obviously, if you maybe go away sparring somewhere, you know, you maybe more equipment and stuff to buy. You maybe want to look fresh for the gym. It soon starts to add up, and people go to the end of the fight.
You've got a couple of niggles.
Tickets, was this cost? Your opponent didn't cost you much. You don't understand that part. Like, you're nearly sort of happy in some ways if you finish by the end of the fight, you've at least broke even.
Yeah, that's it too. Like, it's just like, it costs a lot. That's the be all and end all. Like, it does cost a lot, and then like if you've got niggles, you've got recovery and stuff. You know what I mean? It's a constant rolling of money. Like, you don't really see your money. Like, I'm working full time on the bins too. Like, so, you know, you don't see your money at times. You know what I mean? It just be gone. It'll be gone in a blink of an eye. But look, that's just what it is. It's a sacrifice you have to make at the start of the game. Like, until you do start getting your name out there a wee bit more, start getting on bigger shows and start promoting yourself. Like, it's just, every boxer has to go through it. Like, obviously there's different boxers can strike it lucky there and get big time sponsors on straight away. Like, but I'm lucky enough that I have got decent sponsors there, and if it wasn't for them, like, you know, this probably wouldn't be possible, because you know yourself, Murray, with sponsors, like, to do what you do, you need sponsors. For me to do what I do, I need sponsors. Like, it costs a lot of money. You're running about the country, I'm running up and down the country, you know what I mean? It's, fuel and all is not cheap. It's just not cheap.
We understand it, but I guess the normal person in the street.
No. But how would they either? Like, you know what I mean? They only see your Instagram and your thing, and they see the videos and all, and they just think it's like, you know what I mean? That's all they see. They don't see the inside part of it. They don't see you fucking hooking the wall for pennies. Yeah. But look, it's a good job. I'm lucky enough that I do have a job that I is flexible with me. You know what I mean? That I can work around. That I am getting a wage in too, and that I have got loyal sponsors there who have stuck by me there, because, like I said, you know what I mean, that goes a long way, and I appreciate them, like, because at the end of the day, they're taking a chance on us boys, because, like, I'm sure there's been time again, there's been people there who took sponsor money and they've went and done nothing, scratched their arse. Like, I'm down here breaking my balls here, training flat out, training 10, 12 times a week here. I'm trying to give back to them as well. Like, I'm putting in the dog work here to try and come out the other end here and make something of myself. You know what I mean?
Where do you sort of, you know, like, I guess it's the ideal sort of long-term plan for you doing the boxing full time? You know, like, where do you set your goals? Probably.
No, I don't mind doing it's a stretch saying I love doing the bins, like, but like, I don't mind doing the bins. I think it's a great job. Do you know what I mean? And now a lot of people, like, see, when you were in school, a lot of people, the teachers would say, "You're laying up a bin, man." I'm glad I ended up a bin man. I think it's a great job. I get up early, I'm active. You're doing 10, 15,000 steps a day. Do you know what I mean? On it, and then you're up, and then you're at it, and then you're finished. Like, we get right up early enough there, and then, you know what I mean, you're up and at it. Then it's not too hard that you're busted either. Like, so you can go and you can do your training. All. I don't think I've always said I would never leave that job. I think it's a great job.
Where do you sort of say your boxing goals probably over the next couple of years? Like, you know, are you sort of, I know you're still in that sort of development stage, sometimes you don't want to look too far ahead, but like, where do you sort of now start to envisage you be fighting for titles, you know, many fights, sort of the way do you see?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm still chipping away at this weight. Like, I wanted to do this weight a wee bit lower, but we went at 152, I think we're going here at. But like, I'm trying to get down. Like, I'm looking to end up at super welterweight here eventually. Like, I believe
the super welter would be,
or not super welter, sorry, light welter, sorry, I made a mistake there. Light welter, I feel like, you know, the next one will be at welter, and then like I'll probably go lower then. I feel like I can get down to light welter, and that's where you really see me perform. You know, I boxed as an amateur at 67, this next one's at 68.9. I'm making the weight quite handily, you know what I mean? So I think that I know a couple of fights to see where how I perform at welterweight, and then how I perform at light welter, and see where my body's at. You know what I mean? I'm 32, like, so making weight isn't just as handy as what it was, but I have to give a plug out to my nutritionist Yannick McGee. You know, he's the best in the game. You're starting to see so many more fighters now, like in the boxing scene, get on with him now because he's a wizard. Like, and he says that I would be capable of making light welter, and it's about making the weight and perform. But he says I should be able to make it. Like, so that's why I envisage seeing myself. As for titles and stuff, like I want to start. Like, I would like to fight for title. I would like to get to that weight first. Don't get me wrong, if an opportunity arose at welterweight or something, I'm not going to say I wouldn't take it, but I'm still in the building stage here. Like, this is a 4-rounder. I'd like to start getting, you know what I mean, maybe an R. I don't know if I want to do an R4-rounder, I would go 6, you know what I mean. I'm going to have to talk with my team there and say, but like, I'm game for anything, you know what I mean. My fitness levels is through the roof there at the minute, to be honest with you. My strength and conditioning coach, Mickey Smith, like, he's put me through my paces. He's a top coach down Newry, down EST 28. Like, he's 5 times fittest man in Ireland, CrossFit. Like, he knows the ins and outs. He's very sports specific and stuff. Like, so yeah, my fitness is only getting better, and I feel like with every camp, that's what you're meant to do. Like, you're meant to grow as a pro fighter, you know what I mean? And you'll see, like, I'd say by the time I get down to light welter, I'll be chiseled. Like, that's where I want to be. I want to be getting on them scales like them boys you see on TV, and people being like, right, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm looking in good shape now, but I feel like I'll be in such better shape when I start to drop down weights, and you'll see the performance levels increase as well with every camp. So yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of getting my name out there, building my record here, building my experience obviously in the pro game. But like, to be honest with you, the sky's the limit in boxing. You've seen boys, like, you've seen Paddy turned over quite late, like, to the pro game.
29, I think he
yeah,
was.
do you know what I mean? Like, and look what he done. Like, he went to Germany, won the IBO, fought Berlanga. Where was that? Madison Square Garden, was it? Or where was that?
Berlanga was Orlando.
Oh, Orlando. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got, like, look what he got when he turned over at that age. I'm turning over at similar age. You look at Kikachi and stuff. He had to wait a long time for his opportunity. Like, but boxing's a strange game. Look at Owen there. He's got this opportunity over in Canada. You build your record correctly, you get a name out for yourself, you know what I mean? Anything can happen in boxing. Like, I would obviously love to win an Irish title. I love that EBU belt though. Like, I've always had an eye for it. Like, you know what I mean? I just love that blue belt. You know what I mean? I've always thought it looked like a cracker. But as I said, anything can happen in boxing. So I wouldn't ever say there's any, as I said, sky's your limit, so I wouldn't want to put a ceiling on it.
Just finally, before I let you go, obviously we know the Crockerdonovan card looks like it's going to be potentially the 13th September in Windsor Park. Have you asked Ian for, you know, I guess everybody's going to be out asking their managers and everything else like that for the card, but have you tipped your name to Ian to say if there's a chance to get me
I've been training like a madman here to fight. Who's involved? Is Conlan Boxing's involved in this as well? So I'm fighting on a Conlan Boxing card here, so you know what I mean? I've been training like a dog here, so that's what I'm saying. You never know in boxing. I know that every fighter in Ireland's looking on this card, like, you know what I mean? I know that I sell decent tickets, and if I go out here and I put on a good performance, you never know, like, do you know what I mean? I heard the card's quite stacked already, do you know what I mean? But, you know, you never know. I'll never say no. If I got the opportunity, I would jump at it. It would be a cracking opportunity to fight on an undercard of a world title fight. Like, when are you going to get that again in a stadium fight?
History as well.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So, look, fingers crossed. But I'm thinking about this next fight. I'm thinking about going out here and doing a job. And if you do a proper job, then, you know what I mean, they can't deny you that either. Like, you know what I mean? It can open up doors. So, look, we're focusing on the next one first, Morty.
Well, look, Cathal, obviously, thanks very much for your time as always. Didn't think we were going to sit for nearly half an hour.
I didn't even know it was half an hour, you know, time flies. You're having fun.
But it's good. There's no point stopping the conversation when you want to talk, you know.
Yeah.
So we know it's Friday, we know you're going home and you're going to enjoy your weekend. But obviously, it's good to get a good chat.
I don't know, one-liner for you, Morty.
Oh, here we go.
If you believe it, you're halfway there.
Well, look, thanks as always for your time, and we'll see you back in action in 4 weeks' time.
Gentleman, Morty, 100%.
Thanks, Cathal.
See you after.
Bye.